While we were all opening up some nice gifts during the holiday season, there's one team that was hoping to bring home a big gift to Fort Lee, New Jersey. I'm talking about the Fort Lee Bridgewomen. They advanced all the way to the finals of the Lyndhurst Holiday Tournament, and they would take on Woodridge. So let's go to the highlights. So here we go to Lyndhurst High School. There's Fort Lee off to a surprisingly good start so far this season. We picked things up in the first quarter. Woodridge is down by 6, but Nicole Fleck, their best player, she shows why right here. The hoop and the foul, and all of a sudden it's now a 3-point game. But Fort Lee would pull away in this one. Bindi Parrick, the pass to Amanda Alvarez for 3. She makes it. Fort Lee with a 13-7 lead. Alvarez would have a huge game. Second quarter, Fort Lee now up by 10. Here's Parrick with the hoop right there. She had 13 points. Fort Lee is up by 11. Later in the second, Woodridge with the ball. Good defense by the Bridgewoman. Alvarez ends up with it, and she goes coast to coast for the score. It's 23-12, orange and white. More trouble for the Blue Devils. More good defense for Fort Lee. Another turnover. Alvarez with the steal, and she'll score again. Fort Lee up by 14 at recess and moving right along. Third quarter, now it's an 11-point game. Woodridge being pressured again, but watch Fleck as she does a nice job putting the basket home. She had 21 points, and now it's a 4-point game, but this game would belong to the Bridgewoman. Alvarez, another big 3. Then later, Alvarez again from downtown, and how about one more for good measure? Another 3 for the senior captain. She had 20 in the game as Fort Lee, your Lyndhurst Holiday Tournament champions, as they go on to win this one by a final score of 51-46. Fort Lee's Jessica Stigliano led the team in rebounds during the tournament. Alvarez was named tournament MVP, and here's the girls basketball coach on what this tournament championship means to the program.
This means so much to the program. The program has a lot of, rebuilding to do, and I keep telling these girls that their commitment is second to none, and they work hard, and I'm just happy to finally see that hard work pay off for them. I really am.
Karina Sanchez and the Cliffside Park Red Raiders looking to win a Christmas tournament of their own, taking on Bernard's. First quarter, CP, good ball movement. Maria Suarez ends up with it. She had 21. It's a 6-point Red Raider lead. Later in the first, good defense by the Red Raiders. Karina Sanchez on the steal. Denise Hadzovic on the putback. She had 18. It's a 5-point Red Raider lead after 1 quarter of play. Second quarter, much of the same for Cliffside Park. The outlet to Sanchez. She puts it home for 2. The Red Raiders up by 7. Later in the second, more running from the red and white. The pass ahead to Suarez for 2 more. It's an 11-point Cliffside Park lead. This is a team that started the season 0-2. Doesn't look like it here. Third quarter, more from CP. The outlet pass ahead is going to go to Suarez again for 2 more as Cliffside Park takes care of Bernard's easily, 49-22. They win the Christmas tournament, and Maria Suarez, look at that candy smile. She was named tournament MVP. So Cliffside Park and Fort Lee hoist their championship trophies in the air, and there was one team looking to join them. I'm talking about the Ridgefield Park Scarlets boys basketball team. But the Scarlets would have to do it with some new faces. Their team has completely changed from 1 year ago. For example, last year they had this guy, Warren Murphy, but he's gone because of graduation. Then you have Marquise the Artiste McMillan, one of the most explosive players in Bergen County. He's not there anymore either. Then Chris Quacha, their senior captain, he's gone too. And their leading 3-point scorer, David Urbe, he's gone as well. But Ridgefield Park with some new faces looking to win the Garfield Christmas tournament. We turn it over to our Sportstime reporter, Ariel Agami, who shows us if Ridgefield Park could win it all. Ariel.
Well, Jack, absolutely right. A lot of turnover on this Scarlets roster from one season to the next. Still, this team had a chance to improve its record to 4-0 on the young season. Last year, we saw them take down the Garfield Christmas tournament on the Boilermakers home court against Garfield, and this year they had a chance to do it one more time. Let's take you out to the action in Garfield. The Scarlets focus before tip. Check out head coach Chris Gaskin, though. He looks calm there, but folks, trust me, that would not last. First quarter action. Watch number 33 in red. That's Nelson Mendez, the Scarlets' leading scorer. Strong drive, Ridgefield Park down 7 early. For Garfield, it was all about this man, Kamil Rutkowski. Quick trigger 3. He was just getting started. 16-6 Garfield after 1 quarter. In the second, the Scarlets go back to Mendez inside. The junior going right at Rutkowski. Mendez with a team-high 22. But when you go out Rutkowski, you make him angry, and you wouldn't like him when he's angry. Check out the big man inside, absorbs the contact, bucket and the foul, 25 points, 11 boards for the pride of Krakow, Poland. And check out Coach Gaskin. I told you he was going to blow a gasket sooner or later, and there it is. Somebody help out on Rutkowski. Back to Ridgefield Park for a moment. Late in the second, Nate Lopez, big 3. Still Ridgefield Park trails 32-19 at the intermission. Let's move to the third now. Scarlets still chipping away. Ahmed Gamea comes up with the steal. Nice outlet to Lopez for the lay-in. Scarlets within 10, 36-26. However, moments later, Lopez is going to cough it up. The Boilermakers break out. Jabbar Drakeford misses the layup, but Felipe Fraga comes flying in for the big two-hand jam. He is fired up. 10 points for Fraga, and he also dominated on the glass. Sticking in the third quarter, another turnover. Richie Colon all alone for the easy 2. Garfield's lead would grow to 17, and the frustration just boils over on the Ridgefield Park bench. Tough night for the undermanned Scarlets, the undersized Scarlet team. Garfield takes it 67-54, their first holiday tournament win in 11 years. So Garfield improves its record to 4-0. Ridgefield Park falls to 3-1. The Scarlets didn't play their best, but Coach Gaskin says this loss will not linger.
It was Garfield's night. There's not, I'm proud that my guys kept playing hard till the end, but we put ourselves really in a tough spot in the beginning of the game, and what are you going to do? I mean, you would have asked me in November, you're going to be 3-1 after your first 4 games. I would have said I'll take it. So. Yep. That's the bright side.
When we started with practice this year, every day we've talked about rebounding and just how important it is on the perimeter and how important it is inside. And that's the reason we're 4-0 right now, because we're limiting the second chances that we're giving other teams.
After a game like this, you can only get better. You have to learn from your mistakes. And every team in our league was here tonight scouting, and it's going to be tough. Every team in our league is as talented, and some are probably even more talented than this Garfield team. So. It's time to check yourself in the mirror, check yourself when you walk through the door, whatever you got to check yourself, but it's time to check yourself and see what you're made of.
Well, we move on from the Garfield Christmas Tournament to the Jack Reilly Holiday Tournament hosted by the Fort Lee Bridgemen. The Bridgemen with a chance to move to 3-0 on the young season, but taking on a very big and athletic team in the Montgomery Cougars out of Skillman, New Jersey. Let's take you to the highlights here. Fort Lee on its home court, feeling confident, but Coach John Ziemba with a look of concern before tip-off. Let's pick it up first quarter. Sandy Burgos with 3 of his 29 points. That was a game high, but he shot just 6 for 20 from the field. Those were Fort Lee's only points of the opening quarter. That's because of plays like this. George Payton getting swatted by Christian Benz as the quarter expires. 10-3 Montgomery after 1. Second quarter was all about this man, Matt Mignon. First the 3, then the long 2. The Cougars lead balloons to 12. Burgos trying to bring Fort Lee back into it. He was double teamed for much of this ball game. He'll cough it up on this drive. Montgomery out on the fast break. Mignon up ahead to Ryan McCoy, 2 of his team high 21. Bridgman trailing 32-17 at the break. Second half, more Mignon, and much like Filet, he will make you pay. Another of his 4 threes. He finished with 20. The Montgomery lead is 20. Fort Lee trying to hang tough. Here's Ryan Ford, the junior transfer. Nice adjustment in midair for the score. Still Fort Lee down 20 after 3 quarters of play. By the fourth, it was all academic. Here's the exclamation point. Josh Prevost rising for the 2-hand jam. Montgomery rolls to the 73-49 victory.